Oh, good morning. It is Thursday. So glad you're here. We have a show for you this morning. Here's what we're working on. The National Auto Theft Summit, that begins today to discuss ways to combat the increase in vehicle thefts.
There are changes to today's Catch the Ace ticket sales in Caledonia.
And Coca-Cola announces its first permanent flavor in years, and it's a little spicy. Speaking of spicy.
I was just going to say that.
Oh, yes.
Brian Wood.
Spicy?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I'll go with that. Spicy. I'll take whatever I can get this hour of the morning. Just as long as you don't make my tea spicy, then I'm okay.
No. That'd be
I like my
awful.
tea just with a little bit of sugar is fine.
Sugar.
Okay, yeah. We're looking at some sunshine today.
Not behind you right now.
But
Goodness.
not right now. No, it's really all of a sudden the fog has just descended. There wasn't any fog. Yeah, it just happened. All of a sudden, we started getting fog advisories shortly around 5 o'clock this morning, and the fog has just thickened. You can see it right here. So we have had a little bit of light flurry activity this morning, but we should see some sunshine as the day goes on. And the temperature today, once again on the mild side, we should hit 5 degrees for the day today. Oh, but wait, tomorrow could be a record breaker. We could hit 12 degrees tomorrow. Yeah, 12 degrees tomorrow, but we are looking at some showers rolling in. Showers, chance of drizzle for the day tomorrow, but yeah, actually we'll call that warm for this time of year. So we're sitting on the chilly side right now, -3, wind chill about -7. All right, looking at traffic, as you can see, it is foggy here at the 403 and Waterdown Road. That's our exclusive camera. It's pretty foggy around the Hamilton area. We'll check our MTO traffic cameras, see if there's anything happening at the Red Hill Creek. As you can see, as I say that with asterisks around the sea, Red Hill Creek camera, no volume, it's just really foggy, even top of the Skyway Bridge, all the way through Burlington into Oakville. So there's a fog advisory for Niagara, for Hamilton, Halton, Peel, Toronto as well. Be careful this morning. We'll look at weather and traffic in detail coming up right now, the news.
Yeah, we start off your Thursday with a good light story because it is Thursday, which means residents in Caledonia gearing up for their chance to win the growing Catch the Ace jackpot. That's where we find Simone Gavros joining us from outside the Legion in Caledonia. Remind me, have you gone live from Catch the Ace in Caledonia yet?
We have, yes. We did this in December when the jackpot was just over $300,000, but now it's continuing to grow. It's at $420,000. That's what the estimated jackpot is for tonight. And people in Caledonia are just getting very excited. And the time has moved up now for ticket sales. It starts at 1 p.m. now. But this week I spoke with the winner of who won the weekly jackpot last time, and she explains a little bit more about what her experience was like.
To my husband, oh my gosh, I won, it was really a nice surprise. It's going to a great cause, and so it's just nice to support locally. The dollars are being spent locally for many things that are of need, right?
Jane won the weekly prize of more than $22,000 after participating nearly every week. She even tried her luck at the Hagersville Catch the Ace last year, which had the progressive jackpot of nearly $2 million. But that coveted ace remains on the board here in Caledonia, somewhere behind a numbered envelope. Now, here's a look at those remaining numbers. There are only 10 numbers left on the board as we head into week 43. So the odds are looking good, but there is now a new start time that I mentioned to be mindful of. So the ticket sales are going to be here in person at the Legion, and that starts at 1 p.m. It goes until 7:40 p.m. And then a lucky name is going to be drawn at 8. But for now, Annette, I'll send things over to you.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, an 81-year-old woman has died after a crash in Welland. It happened around noon yesterday at Prince Charles Drive and Fitch Street in Welland. Police say an SUV making a right turn was hit by a pickup truck and ran into a pole. The woman who died was a passenger in the SUV. The driver, an 83-year-old man, was sent to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The 55-year-old man driving the truck was also hurt. Now, the speed limit in that area is 50, but neighbors say people don't always obey it.
Very bad intersection. If you're coming down Prince Charles here, wanting to turn left onto Fitch, this is Fitch, right? On the Fitch, as you pull out, if someone is coming and they want to make a right, you can't, you got to pull out pretty far. So you're almost pulling out into the intersection.
Niagara police say it's too early to say if speed was a factor in this crash, and there's no word on charges.
We're over in Halton. One woman is dead after a suspicious fire at a home in Georgetown. This happened yesterday morning. Halton police say they were called to a house on Victoria Street about a fire around 5 o'clock. When they arrived, the home was fully engulfed in flames and neighbors evacuated. Police say one woman was pronounced dead on scene. No others were found inside. Now, they have not released any details on what caused this fire or why it is suspicious. The Ontario Fire Marshal is asking anyone, if you have information, to please reach out to them.
In Norfolk County, concerns are being raised about a project that's seen the landscape of the Long Point Causeway change. Over 100 trees, branches, and logs now litter the side of Long Point Road as part of a road widening and resurfacing project. Norfolk County says it's addressing trees that are in poor condition, as well as making sure that the completion of the causeway resurfacing is safe. It's set for this summer. People, though, are concerned about speeding along the road.
They're already speeding and going above the 50-kilometer speed limit. I think that's going to increase speeding.
Norfolk Mayor Amy Martin urges people not to speed even with the expansion and says the replanting of the area will happen in the spring with species that are native to that area.
A national summit on how to curb rising auto theft, that starts today in Ottawa. So the federal government says 90,000 vehicles are stolen every year in Canada, adding to up to about $1 billion in costs. Increasingly organized crime, they are involved, and the vehicles are being shipped to Africa and the Middle East. Police forces, automakers, and government leaders are going to brainstorm how to stop this. They'll look at new technologies to protect vehicles and stronger penalties.
Halton police say 4 vehicles stolen in that region worth an estimated $200,000 have been recovered in Dubai. Officers say it relates to the seizure of 24 stolen vehicles last March that were sent from the area to be resold in Dubai. Police say the vehicles were stolen from Peel, Halton, and Toronto. And in Dundas, police have recovered a Porsche that was stolen in a home invasion and robbery on Saturday. The vehicle was seized in the Toronto area. They haven't disclosed the circumstances around it being found, though. So, shown on CHCH News on Monday, video surveillance shows 4 men breaking into a home in the area of Hopkins Court and York Road around 4:30 on Saturday morning. Police say the suspects held the family at gunpoint before taking off in the Porsche and an Audi SUV, which is still missing. And the search continues for the suspects. Well, work has started to take down at least part of a leaning house in Hamilton's North End. Last week, the city of Hamilton said the new build on Ferry Street would have to be partially demolished after a threat of collapse forced neighbors out of their homes. Officials stepped in after the owners weren't able to comply with an Ontario Building Code order that was issued earlier this month. The city decided that partial demolition is the most economical approach to bringing it down safely.
Let's get into Sportsline, and let's start with a rockin' Tim Hortons field with Mexican powerhouse club Chivas Guadalajara in town to face Forge SC, and this is the first leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and Forge, they were holding their own in the first half.
It is a much more promising breakout for Forge. Forge is at the edge of the box. Campbell goes forward! Taryn Campbell!
Yeah, Taryn Campbell scored their first ever Champions Cup goal on home field, the 31st minute, to tie the match at 1 after Chivas scored the opener in the 25th minute and in front of over 11,000 On a February night in the Hammer, Chivas, who was one of the best and most popular teams in Mexico, would take over from there, though, scoring in injury time in the first half and then put it away in the 63rd minute. They scored a very valuable 3 away goals in the 3-1 win, much to the delight of their supporters who turned out in droves. Forge has plenty of work to do in leg 2 of the series. It heads to Mexico on Tuesday, where the altitude is about 1,500 meters.
Back to Matthews, up top, looks for Marner off his skate, to the net, scores!
Maple Leafs used their star power against the visiting Dallas Stars at the bank last night. Mitch Marner would break a 3-3 tie shortly after Evgeny Dadonov scored in a penalty shots on a nifty little play in front. Stars net to put them up for good. All 4 members of the core 4 would score, including 2 from Willie Nylander, who scored right here just 20 seconds later. Great feed from John Tavares. He had 2 helpers and a goal. Well, Austin Matthews scored his league-leading 41st. Easy for me to say. 5-4 the finals. Toronto is off to Ottawa Saturday night.
Defense was in his jersey, active hands. Now he's going to knock down the 3-ball. Watch. RJ, the 3!
Yeah, former Raptor, current broadcaster Alvin Nostradamus Williams, knowing that RJ Barrett was going to knock down that 3-pointer. The fourth quarter, the Raptors overcame a big night from Miles Bridges for Charlotte. He scored 45, but Barrett had 23 to lead the way, and they finished up their 6-game road trip with a 123-117 win, probably because they played on a Wednesday. Because they're 10-4 when they do. 8-29 when they play on any other day of the week. NBA trade deadline, by the way, is this afternoon. Interesting to see if anybody else is shipped out from the Dinos.
Here comes Canada the other way. Malte to center. Fast. Lets it go. And she scores! Renata Fast!
Yeah, what a moment for Burlington's Renata Fast. She would score the winner for Canada in their rivalry series versus the States from Saskatoon and propel our ladies to a 4-2 win in Game 5 of this series. Canada found themselves down late in the third, but after Ashton Bell tied it up, Renata scored the winner to pull the red and white to within 1 game of the U.S. after they had won the first 3 games. Game 6 goes Friday for Regina. Game 7 Sunday in Minnesota. And we are only a few days away from the start of spring training for the Blue Jays. The offseason took another hit for them as Vladdy Guerrero Jr. won his arbitration case against the club, rewarding the first baseman with a record number won through a hearing at $19.9 million for this upcoming season. The Jays had offered $18.05. It's the 16th hearing in Jays history. They have a record of 9-7. These hearings, though, they're tricky because they can create ill feelings between the two sides. Hopefully, Vladdy can rebound from a subpar 2023 season.
12 minutes past 6 o'clock. It is the 8th morning of February, and we've got a cloudy start to the day today and a foggy start as well. We are going to see sunshine later, but you're not seeing any of that right now. Look at how foggy it is here at the 403 and Waterdown Road area. That's our exclusive camera. Even the, well, not into St. Catharines. Let's go to this MTO traffic camera. We'll start with not there. It disappeared. How does that happen? So I will say, let's see if this camera is here. Yes, okay. I did want to show you that there's no fog in St. Catharines right now. Here's the QEW at Martindale. So that looks good. Then you advance to the Red Hill Creek camera, and you can see how foggy it becomes. We'll flip ahead to the 403 junction, the Ford plant, even into Mississauga at the QEW at Cawthra. So a fog advisory is in effect at the moment, and that's how we're starting the day. Temperature is just into the freezing. I mean, we've come up a degree. We're now sitting at -2. The winds north-northeast, making it feel like -7. The humidity right up there, 100%. That's why we have all that fog this morning. So for school today, we are going to see some sunshine. It'll be a sunny day, and our high will be 5 degrees. Now, Hamilton, that's going to be cooler than other areas of the Horseshoe, but we'll have fairly light winds for the day today. We have a southerly flow now. Warm front's gone way through. We have another one approaching. That's what's really going to push the temperature up tomorrow and bring us some chance of some shower, some drizzle tonight into the day tomorrow. But today, no, look at 9 degrees for St. Catharines in the Falls, 10 for Simcoe and Cayuga, but 5 to 7 for the rest of the Horseshoe. We should have a fair bit of sun this morning and then a little bit more cloud cover. Tonight we'll get some showers, some drizzle. Temperatures actually go up in some areas, 5, 6, and even 8 degrees for Niagara. And then tomorrow, look at these temperatures, 14 for St. Catharines, 10 for the Falls, 12 this end of the lake, even 13 for Halton, Peel, Toronto. They could be record-breaking temperatures for the day tomorrow. Tomorrow's record high for Hamilton is around 10 degrees. So, yeah, but we'll get a chance of a shower. Otherwise, a bit of sunshine. So out the door, 8th morning of February. It is foggy. It's cloudy. Temperature -2. And we'll look long range coming up. Annette, Tim.
So I would say that Emily would like these temperatures, but after her showing on the slopes at Mount St. Louis Moonstone, she's probably a winter enthusiast.
I think you're actually a fan of winter.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
A secret fan of winter.
You're like, bring on the cold stuff, bring on the snow.
Well, only because it keeps my children occupied.
Yeah, exactly.
And I really do enjoy that. And they love snowboarding. So yes, would I mind some colder temperatures? Just for the slopes though. Here, it can be like 12 degrees. I'm happy.
Yeah,
Let's bring on the sun. Okay, coming up in Chit Chat, I like Diet Coke. Some people like vanilla Coke. Other people even like cherry Coke. But what about having your Coke a little spicy? I don't know about that. But we're going to discuss.
Okay.
And you can watch Taylor Swift's Eras Tour on another streaming service. We'll talk about that as well.
Okay.
See you in a little bit over the couch. Up after the break, though, it's Black History Month. But does that mean, what does that mean, I should say, for Black-owned businesses in Hamilton? We'll look into it. $6.17 on your Thursday. Here's the numbers for you. Canadian dollar down 4 basis points this morning, sitting at 74.25 cents US. No change for gold, 51.70 an ounce. Crude oil up 52 cents, 74.38 a barrel. Off to Europe we go. Hey, Europe. Markets have some gains right across the board in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
In Asia, the markets were up today in Tokyo and Shanghai, but down in Hong Kong. Checking the North American markets, the TSX was up by 11, but there were triple-digit gains on Wall Street.
I'm so glad you're here on this February the 8th, and February is Black History Month. And 2 Black-owned businesses in Hamilton say despite the cultural spotlight, sales are not necessarily taking center stage. A reloved boutique in Island Queens say the commemorative month can be helpful for marketing, but feel like there's little investment into their establishments. Keisha Gordon, the owner of Island Queens, says there have been improvements in the barriers Black businesses face, but there are still some challenges like limited access to capital.
First barrier that comes to the top of my head is funding. Systemically, there's a lot of maybe stereotype can be the best word, or stigma.
Yeah, data from a survey of businesses conducted by a nonprofit group, Black-owned Hamilton, found that 75% have never received funding. The nonprofit Black-owned is hosting several markets this month where entrepreneurs will be showcasing their products. The first coming up on February 18th.
Tech companies like Amazon and Microsoft say the Canadian government is being too vague with a bill to regulate artificial intelligence systems. The federal Liberals have met with big tech to hear what they have to say on the legislation. Among their concerns, tech leaders say Bill C-27 doesn't do enough to distinguish between high-risk and low-risk AI systems, and that the legislation as written would stifle innovation. Earlier this week, though, an AI expert told that same committee that the federal government needs a law in place immediately, even if it isn't perfect.
2 trucking firms say they are taking the BC government to court after an overpass crash last December. So the lawsuit aims to help get BC-based Cohan Freight Forwarders Limited and an Alberta company of a similar name back on the road. So the Alberta-based group says the government wrongly concluded that they were one operation when they are separate legal entities with a family connection. So BC Premier David Eby called the lawsuit an astonishing move, adding he only hopes that on the way to the court, they don't run into a bridge.
Uber is finally turning a profit. It posted its first full-year profit as a public company last year after years of heavy losses. One exception was 2018, but that profit was fueled by investments and not operations. Uber's food delivery unit helped save the company during the pandemic. It's also navigated a following a driver shortage better than Lyft did, its main competitor. Lyft has yet to turn a profit. Uber has seen its stock more than double in the last year.
All right, if you're a little foggy waking up on this Thursday morning, just have a look outside because it's pretty foggy out there too.
And it's amazing how fast that fog rolled in because when we were coming in, it was clear.
6:24, it is Thursday morning, the 8th of February. This is the camera that disappeared on us last time, but I wanted to show you the QEW Glendale here. There's no fog, but there is a fog advisory for the Niagara area, but it looks pretty good right there. Then you hit the Burlington Skyway. Look at that. Really foggy here at the top. No problems on the roads at all. It's just that visibility problem that you'll have this morning. Erin Mills Parkway all the way through the 403 at Burnham Thorpe. Yeah, it is fairly foggy. So that's how we're starting the morning here. Hamilton's temperature, we're struggling a little bit. -2, wind chill about -7, 0 Mississauga, +2 for Grimsby and for Toronto. Seasonal temperatures are -10 for the overnight low. That's where we figure we should be this time of the morning in February, but no. -2 for the daytime high. Those are our sun times and our records for today. So no record today, but maybe tomorrow we could set a record. We'll get some sun and some clouds for today. It should be fairly sunny by the first bell. At 9 o'clock, -1 the temperature, but +5 and a little bit more cloud cover for the afternoon. Here's the long-range forecast. So today, sunny and 5. Other areas will be milder around the horseshoe. Tonight, the temperature goes up to 6 degrees, but we could get some showers, some drizzle. And then tomorrow, it's showers, drizzle, a little bit of sun, but not much. But look at that temperature, 12 degrees tomorrow. Niagara could hit 14. And then the temperature dips on Saturday. We'll get some showers in 6, and then it cools off. Stays cloudy. At least we'll get some sunshine for midweek next week and -1. But yeah, cloudy and getting cooler through the weekend. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Okay, well, NASA scientists may have discovered a potentially habitable super Earth that's kind of close by.
Okay, the planet is about 1.5 times the size of Earth and is orbiting a small reddish star 137 light years away. Here's the name, TO1715b. We say if you're the first one to get there, maybe choose a better name. NASA says the planet orbits within the conservative habitable zone around its parent star. That means the exoplanet could be at just the right temperature for liquid water to form on its surface. Scientists also say it may not be alone. The same system might also harbor a second Earth-sized planet, also inside the habitable zone. What do you think you can get a 4-bedroom for with maybe a 2-car garage? What's the real estate?
It's the commute that's going to kill you.
It's the commute. Yeah. Wonder if it's foggy, like the commute this morning. Huh? Yeah.
Well, ours wasn't though.
No, it's weird. Yeah.
Just Brian was saying fog. I'm like, where?
Yeah, just kind of
out the window.
Kind of came out.
Came out of nowhere.
Temperatures though, whoa, could be record setting come tomorrow.